Eric, tell us a little bit about Graybar's go-to-market strategy for distributed antenna systems.
Sure. So we are really leveraging the relationships that we have over the long term with our end user enterprise customers and taking their need and helping them to better understand how the DAS industry works, which there's a lot of misunderstanding about out there, particularly in enterprise. That need has come about as there's been a big shift in the enterprise wanting to take control and ownership of their own DAS as opposed to outsourcing it to the carrier. As a result, then you've got not only that need at the end user level, but for all of the players in the industry who don't necessarily have that access or the sales force to work with the end user directly. So whether that would be a system integrator, could be the OEMs as well, neutral host companies, and even sometimes the contractors as well. So we put that relationship together. We vet those participants in the market and bring them together, at a lot of times combine them in order to create the right solution for our end user customer.
Can you talk with us a little bit about how extensive your sales force is and your regional offices are, and then maybe go into a little bit detail about the relationships you have with end user enterprise customers?
Okay, sure. So Graybar has around 2,000 salespeople nationally, obviously a very big sales force with a lot of relationships that can be leveraged. We're divided into 13 different sales districts, plus our corporate sales team kind of sits maybe sort of as a 14th district. So there's a lot of different organizations to work through to access that end user customer. We've got both an electrical side and a comm data side to our business. So there's a little bit more focus on the comm data, although there's things that are happening through the electrical as well. What's really different in what we're doing today is we've built a whole new team that we call our Power Smart team. And that Power Smart team, it's a group of about 100 guys, and it's a combination of both sales and technical capability. And what we're doing uniquely there is we're combining three areas today: energy, intelligence, and mobility. And of course, I represent the mobility part of that for Graybar. But what we're seeing is a convergence of those three different types of building systems over a common IP backbone today. So in the past, you might have looked at energy or LED lighting upgrades, which is a big part of the market today. That was typically a decision made by operations or facilities. Today, because of the controls that happen for all of those things, it's now part of the IT manager's domain because it's hitting his network, right? And whether that's wired over that intelligence infrastructure or it's wireless, controlling it over Wi-Fi or some other wireless network, those things are all becoming tied together now. So Graybar has been selling all three of those different types of solutions for a long time, but we're now packaging them together through a strategy for how do we build that infrastructure of the future? How do we start to control all the different building systems and building automation and access controls, and do that all over this kind of Power Smart message?
With 2,000 salespeople, you're touching virtually every vertical market, every enterprise in the country. Can you maybe share with us some use cases of some acute mobility needs that some of your enterprise verticals might be experiencing?
Sure. So you're right. I mean, we're in all the key verticals. Really big ones, of course, around DAS infrastructure, universities, and healthcare. We've got a lot of involvement in both of those vertical markets. So we'll look at universities as a good example. They have a lot of confusion in the market over how do they get things done, and people tend to look at one way to solve a problem. And it's been typically, let's go look to the carrier and how they're going to provide that. A lot of cases, and universities are a great example of this because they've got so many different types of scenarios on their own campus. They've got the big football stadium, which the carriers are very interested in getting in there to offload capacity and serve those users. A lot of times they have a hospital that's part of their campus as well. Very intense RF and wireless environment with lots of needs there. And then you've got all the academic buildings that the carriers don't care a whole lot about, but they need solutions in all three of those areas. So helping them to build a strategy around how they're going to address all these different areas has been a real key piece of what we can help them do.
Eric, thanks for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.